Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favorite Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Monday, March 4th, 2024. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. I hope everyone is having a good day, a positive Monday. And if you are out there traveling about today, make sure you say a prayer. Don't be distracted by being on your phone, but please pay attention to what is going on in your environment. And make sure you use that hand sanitizer. Keep yourself clean. Yes, because when we wash our hands and use hand sanitizer, we can eliminate some germs. So do your part to stay safe and keep your family members safe. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo. Thank you so much for your support and your donations. Well, I have an inspirational quote for you today. And my inspirational quote is, take care of your spirit daily. If you neglect to care for your spirit, you will be spiritually empty and malnourished. I'm going to read that inspirational quote again. Take care of your spirit daily. If you neglect to care for your spirit, you will be spiritually empty and malnourished. Now, I know somebody is saying, what is she talking about? Well, let me explain something to you. You are what you eat. Yes, you are what you eat. Whatever you put in your body, that is what you can become, healthy or not healthy. So we all have to be careful what we eat. So the same thing applies when it comes to your spirit. If you're watching negative television and you're listening to everything that's negative on the news and all day, every day, everything is just negative, then you will start to think negative. But if you are feeding yourself inspirational content, motivational content, reading some type of spiritual material to lift you up, then you are feeding your spirit. Our spirit is like a container. It houses a content, and that content could be good, it could be negative, it could be evil, it could be deceptive. Because you are what you eat. You are what you expose yourself to. So it is important that we care for our spirit every single day in some capacity. Many people get dressed and look good on the outside, but on the inside, there is garbage. And I'm not judging anyone by saying that, because you know who you are dealing with according to what and how people talk. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? So you are what you eat. If you expose yourself to positive content, inspirational content, informative details that help you to be a better person, informative details to help you to do something different when it comes to how you make your decisions, how you think, information to help you to determine how to function daily, information on how to be prosperous, inspirational information on how to be disciplined. All those things are helpful. And it is important that we live daily with a mindset to do better. We have to. When we live and think with a mindset to do better, then we will create a more quality-filled life. And so caring for your spirit is very, very important. Because if you have a bunch of material things and your spirit is all jacked up, that means you're just spiritually poor. What benefit is it to have a bunch of luxury around you and you're still feeling empty? That emptiness comes from a lack of feeding your spirit. I heard someone say, they had everything they could ever think of, but they didn't have any peace. Yes, they said they didn't have any peace. They didn't have any peace because their spirit was empty. We were created for love and by love. And because we were created for love and by love, we must maintain the good that we were created from. Unfortunately, we were born into a world that is filled with evil and bad things. But the blessing about that is this. We get to conform right in the midst of something that's really bad. Yes, we get to conform to something better and good. Even though we were born into a world that's all jacked up, we still have an opportunity to conform into something better and good. We don't have to live according to generational curses. We don't have to create or imitate or follow negative behaviors of family members or friends. Because we all have free will and choices. And so when we feed our spirit daily, it simply means you are loving yourself and maintaining yourself in a way that is good for yourself. Because if you are exposing yourself every single day to negative information and negative conversations and everything around you is just constantly negative, that is not healthy. That is not healthy. When I was younger, when I lived in a place called New Jersey, sometimes when I was around people and they started having conversations about something negative, I would just raise my eye. I would raise my eye like, okay, it's time to go. As soon as the negative conversation started, I would raise my eye like, okay, it's time to go. Why did I think like that? Because whenever I would hear people talking negative, it made me feel uncomfortable. Why? I don't even know why. Since I was a little girl, every time I heard someone talking negative, it would make me feel very uncomfortable. And now that I'm an adult, it really makes me feel uncomfortable now. I cannot sit by and hear somebody just throw somebody under the bus or just make somebody out of something that they really not, or just someone tearing somebody's character apart. I cannot do that. I cannot just stand there and not say anything or just be a part of it. I have to dismiss myself. I have to leave the environment. I can't stand that. I can't stand it. I simply believe that even if you don't like something, there is a way to talk about it without destroying somebody's character or trying to make them into something that they are not. It's a way to discuss something without being totally negative. Yes, we all have to vent. We all have to express ourselves when something negative happens. But what I'm saying is there's a way to talk about situations and circumstances so that no one is hurt verbally. That's my point. Because when someone is tearing somebody's character apart, they're doing that because of what they are filled with. When someone is speaking evil about someone viciously with total malice, that means they're speaking from a place of what is in them. Yes, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. And so when you feed your spirit daily, and when you feed your spirit consistently with positive things, with positive information, exposing yourself to positive environments or positive people or inspirational people or just things that are good for you, things that help you to maintain a consistent, healthy mindset, those things will help you to just be better. And they will help you to nourish your spirit. Those things will help you to have a nourished mindset. You will never be empty. You will never be spiritually malnourished. A spiritually malnourished person never says anything that's good. A spiritually malnourished person does not know how to speak life to other people or speak anything positive. A spiritually malnourished person doesn't have what I call a positive eye lens. They see everything as negative. They see everything as doom and gloom. They see everything as bad all the time. A spiritually malnourished person will take the most positive situations and negative. That's what a spiritually malnourished person will do. It is so important that we understand the benefits of being spiritually nourished. When we are spiritually nourished, we know how to speak life. We know how to be positive. We know how to do good things that are beneficial. We know how to do that because we are spiritually nourished. So that is why it is important to care for your spirit. It is important to nourish your spirit, to expose yourself to everything that will give you life. Just as eating food will help you to be healthy, exposing yourself to good things that also will help you to be spiritually nourished. And that is how you can care for yourself. Being mindful of what is beneficial to expose yourself to. Being mindful, asking yourself the question, is this good for me? Should I partake of this conversation? Should I partake of watching something on television that might not be good for your spirit? Or participating in something that might not be good for your spirit? Ask yourself that question. And then you can make a honest determination to do what is best for yourself. So, nourish your spirit daily so that you won't be spiritually malnourished or spiritually empty. When you are spiritually nourished, you will always have something good to share with others. When you are spiritually nourished. When you are not spiritually nourished, you won't even have good things to say. You won't have a positive perspective if you are not spiritually nourished. But when you are spiritually nourished, filled mentally, emotionally, with good information, or just being exposed to good things to help you to think positive, yes, then you will be spiritually nourished, filled every day. Just like you eat food so that you can eat enough so that you won't feel weak, so that you can have energy. You eat enough every day, or you eat enough throughout the day so that you can have enough energy. Well, we have to nourish ourselves spiritually the same way every day. And there are so many ways you can spiritually nourish yourself. meditation, prayer, reading, listening to audio with information, like I said, that's inspirational or information that is helpful. Watching something on TV that's inspirational. Having life conversations, exchanging with people that give you positive content in conversations. There are so many ways to nourish your spirit. And we must be mindful to nourish our spirit so that we will have something to give to someone else. Good, bad, or indifferent. As times change, we must always nourish our spirit. When you nourish your spirit, you will have strength. Yes, you will have strength. When you nourish your spirit, you will have self-control. That's right. You will have self-control. When you nourish your spirit, you won't just walk around saying anything, any kind of way, because you will be mindful not to speak in a way that's not beneficial. When you nourish your spirit. When you nourish your spirit, you will have what I call spiritual antennas to understand and be sensitive to other people when they are going through something, because your spirit is nourished. When you nourish your spirit, you will have a better mindset to be more open-minded with others when you nourish your spirit. Having an empty spirit or a spirit that is malnourished, it's not a good thing at all. It is not a good thing to walk around empty and spiritually malnourished. The question you should ask yourself is, if you are walking around spiritually malnourished, what actions are you displaying and showing others constantly? That's the question we should ask ourselves. If we are spiritually malnourished, nothing good can come from that. That's right. Nothing good can come from being spiritually malnourished. So just think about everything I'm saying and consider making sure that you are spiritually nourished every single day. When I used to be in the office years ago, on the way to work, I would drive to work. My drive was sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. And during my drive to work, every time I got in the car, I would turn on something positive, some kind of music or something to make sure I lift my spirit. So that by the time I got to work, I was filled up. I was filled up with all the goodness, the joy, the peace. If I didn't turn on something to lift my spirit, I would pray all the way to work. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. As soon as I got in the car, instead of getting on the phone, I would pray all the way to work. So by the time I got to work, I was so happy and filled with so much joy and so much peace. People would look at me and say, well, what did you do last night? Or where have you been? Or what did you have before you came to work? Did you have some coffee? And I would say, no, I didn't have no coffee. And I didn't do anything last night. I'm just happy. I took care of, I didn't say this to the person, but in my mind I was saying, I took care of my spirit. I took care of my spirit. Oh, yes, I did. That is why I had joy. That is why I had peace. That is why I was able to function at my highest capacity on the job. That is why I was able to get along with everybody. That is why I was able to speak encouragement to people because I took care of my spirit. The worst thing you could do is get up in the morning, get dressed, run out the house, get in the car, and just drive to work and don't do anything to prepare the day first by taking care of your spirit. That is the worst thing that anybody could do. Because if you get up in the morning and you take a shower and you eat food and you do all those things that look glamorous and you say goodbye to the wife or kids and husband and you do all you have to do to get in the car and look nice, but you didn't take a minute to pray, or you didn't take a minute to meditate, you didn't take a minute to journal, or you didn't take a minute to do anything to care for your spirit, oh, that's serious. That's real serious. That's serious. That's real serious. And I say it's serious because I can remember so clearly when I did that. I did things not to take care of my spirit. And I remember how I would stumble through the day. And I said, what is this? Why is my day going this way? And I told myself, oh no, I gotta do something to take care of this. So I started praying more and I started doing all these different types of things to take care of my spirit. So every single day, when I get up in the morning, before I go to bed at night, before I start my day, before I leave the house, or when I leave the house and I get in my car, I make sure I am doing all that I know to do to take care of my spirit. It is a responsibility for you to understand the importance and the benefits that come from taking care of your spirit. This inspirational quote, I thought about it earlier today and I said, you know what? I need to talk about this. Because sometimes people think prayer is just some religious act. No, prayer is your lifeline to the perfect one so that he can give you what you need. And whatever you are carrying, you can release it to him so that you don't carry it no more. The perfect one is God. When you make an exchange with the perfect one, what you don't need comes off of you. Yes, so that's why it's important to care for your spirit. When you listen to information that is inspirational or motivational, or anytime you listen to something that gives you life, yes, you are caring for your spirit. You're caring for the part of you that God has placed in you to be cared for. That's right. Just like you have to care for your heart. Your heart is a soft place. It's a place that's filled with emotions. It's a place that's filled with tenderness, and it's a place that we don't always share with one another. We don't always share our heart with one another, but it's a place that's considered to be sacred, your heart. So when you get into a relationship, or a romantic relationship specifically, we always make sure we can be with someone that will care for our heart, because our heart is a part of our spirit. And we must care for our spirit. Please hear what I'm saying to you. Please understand the significance of what I am talking about. Caring for your spirit is the most important thing you can do to start the day. Caring for your spirit throughout the day is the most important thing you can do, not just for your day, but for your life. So care for your spirit. I am going to read the inspirational quote again. The inspirational quote is, take care of your spirit daily. If you neglect to care for your spirit, you will be spiritually empty and spiritually malnourished. And you don't want that. You want to be equipped to deal with all things throughout the day. You want to be equipped to deal with everything in your life. You want to be equipped with spiritual tools to speak life, to be life, and to be inspired, and also to be an asset to someone else. You do not want to be malnourished. Take a moment and think about something that is barren and malnourished. When you look at a barren tree is a tree that's brown with no fruit, no leaves. It has a darkness to it. There's nothing beautiful about a barren tree, even though it still has a form of life, but it's barren. A well-replenished tree that is nourished, it has leaves that are green, it has fruit, it has beautiful branches, and it looks like a well, healthy tree. So when you make the comparisons of the two trees I just mentioned, wouldn't you want to be a well-nourished, replenished tree? Because you are what you eat. Good, bad, or indifferent. You are what you eat. And when I say eat, I'm talking about what you expose yourself to from your ears and your eyes. Your ears and your eyes. Speak life. Receive life through your ears and your eyes. So, I am going to conclude this episode. I thank you for taking the time to listen to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. I hope that you have learned something today. I hope that you are inspired. I pray that you are lifted up. I pray that the rest of the week will be prosperous for you and your family. I pray safety over you. I pray that you go after the desires of your heart and make sure you put God first. I pray that you stay focused on what is good. And I thank you for listening to this podcast. Please share this podcast with others. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavorite@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Google me, SB Favorite Thinking Podcast, and you will find me wherever you choose to listen to podcasts. Subscribe to me there. And once again, share this podcast with others. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click like, leave me some feedback. Click the bell so that you can get a notification each time there is a new episode uploaded for SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. Or if I go live, you will receive a notification. So click the bell on YouTube. But like I said, don't forget, feed your spirit. Make sure you stay focused and make sure you have a good day. And thank you again for listening to this podcast. And one more time, if you would like to give to this podcast, you can give at Cash App, $SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. And if you don't want to give on the apps, contact me and I will give you instructions on how to give, or go to my Facebook page at SB Favorite Thinking Podcast and you will find my business address there to send donations to that address. But people don't use checks anymore, so come on. In some cases. But if you want the address, go to the Facebook page and you can find the address there. But once again, thank you for listening and you have a good day.